The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, it's me, Drew Opwalo, host of the Comment Section Show. Come join me and one of my iconic special guests every week on the show as we dive into the dreaded comment sections of our tagged videos and take down the most terrible men on the internet, period. Somehow, they won't go away no matter what I do, no matter how incredibly awful and mean I am to them, but I don't mind doing this work. In fact, if I'm being honest, I think it's God's work. So make sure y'all follow me on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts for new episodes every Wednesday.
When I say Jane, you say Joel. Jane.
Hello, welcome along to The Real Pod. My name is Janie. I'm joined by Duncan Grieve and Alex Casey of The Spin-off. This is your reality TV in real life in New Zealand podcast, and we're here thanks to Nando's.
We didn't even say its name. It's Real Pod.
It's the Real Pod.
It's the Real Pod, everybody.
I just like
say that.
You said what it was, but not what it is.
welcome along. It can be whatever you want, really.
We are whatever you want us to be, except for that we're only really recapping the Bachelorette NZ. So if that's what you want us to be, you're in the right place. Yeah, as I said, we're here thanks to Nando's. Is there any Nando's news from your end, guys?
Just still delicious and still piping hot and fresh.
Wow. New branding expert.
Breaking news.
We're getting some for lunch today, and I simply can't wait.
I'm not. I'm having tea biscuits.
What does that
Like
mean?
wine biscuits with slight chocolate flavour to them.
Oh.
Like for a cup of tea. With a cup of tea, but I don't have a cup of tea. I wish I was having Nando's. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/TheRealPodPod. We are on Instagram at TheRealPodPod. And our hashtag is either RealPod or TheRealPod. Or hashtag whatever you want us to be. Whatever you like.
Quick interjection. I finally opened my Secret Santa from my corny pal in late January.
Oh my God. You're the worst.
It never felt like the right time. I took it around the whole South Island.
Oh my God.
And it was so great. And I don't know whether they're listening, but if they are, it was really warmed my heart. It was like did we talk about what it is? Is that okay?
Yeah.
It was like a tote from her favourite record store. There's a pair of cool Nom D socks.
Oh my God.
And
Wow.
That's money.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really
Resale
is.
value on it.
But no, I will never sell it. I don't want to be buried with it. And like a really lovely, heartfelt note, and it made me feel emotions for the first time in a while.
That's so nice.
nice.
So I got that big
You guys are frozen. So
we're
this is just-
frozen.
it's a bit
Can you
awkward
hear
now.
us?
I'm assuming you
You're
can't hear
frozen
me.
too, Jane.
I can't
This
hear
is
you.
good.
Oh no.
I think it's okay. I
Cornies,
think it's
I want to
okay.
explain right now that we had some technical problems before this podcast, and we're talking to Jane on my cell phone.
Redacted internet provider has done quite a poor job of changing our service over, and we're on Alex's unlimited data.
Jane left. Jane just left.
Oh,
Jane
no.
left the chair.
And it's quite a janky setup. We've got like a little star-shaped box and Alex's phone plugged into a Belkin headphone splitter. And Jane's back.
Jane's back. Jane joined. When I
Have you
say
been recording the
Jane,
whole
you
time?
say Joel. Jane.
Joel.
That's how we've been testing the internet speed today, and we simply don't know what the delay is.
Do you reckon NZMe's podcast is like this?
NZMe's podcast is quite short. It'd probably be over by now. Ours is definitely like
It definitely
if
would
you're
have started by now.
If you're after quantity over quality, then we're again.
Well, no, but
podcast for you.
they've got 2 a week.
Yeah.
And I got
quantity
I
and
don't
quality.
think their 2 a week adds up to our monstrosity.
Would you like to see my monstrosity?
No thanks.
Fine.
Okay, let's batch.
I have 4 weeks to decide if I'm going to drop my entire life for you.
I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband.
It is fine.
Right. The Bachelorette NZ, we're into week 2. And we start off with a cocktail party and the arrival of a new Bachelorette. Alex, Casey, have you anything to say about this?
You've all got shoeies to do, and I want to see them on camera. And I want to see them done out of a fully enclosed shoe.
What?
Because I did a
Well, you
sliding, and the keen cornies noticed that was kind of because I was only half baking the shoey, because I knew in my heart of hearts that I was right.
So that was a conscious thing, the slidey. Despite
It was also
your
just health.
protestations
It was
that it was a full
also
shoey.
it was also health and safety. Because I don't want to
Okay.
ruin a shoe, like a proper shoe. I want an easy wipe.
I don't think you
Slide.
ruined the show.
I think you do. You
What
should
about
talk to
all
Alice
birds?
Neville about her.
What about all birds?
Oh,
We're machine washable.
It's a lovely shoe.
Machine washable.
Yeah, I don't know about everyone suddenly putting their shoes in the washing machine. Is that all good?
I've been doing it for a long time.
Simone Anderson is all about it.
I wash mine every day.
I wash everything in the
Can I
washing
put
machine.
these shoes in the wash?
Yeah.
Children.
Well, probably not hard leather ones or even soft leather.
Oh man.
But like your Nike running trainers.
Okay, well there you go, cornies. No excuse now.
I did just make a pretty poor taste background gag, so I just want.
Oh, what was that?
I just like you can put anything. I put everything in the washing machine, and then I said children.
Oh.
Don't put your children in the washing machine, just in case you were thinking of. Well, that's a good idea. It's not a good idea. I mean, you could maybe put them in there for a gag, but do not turn it on. Don't even put them in there. I just don't put them in the washing machine. Okay.
I feel like this got quite dark and quite personal. Have you got history there?
No, I've literally never
Nah.
put kids in the washing machine.
No, shit, no.
No, I didn't. And
I just feel like you're saying the words
anyone-
washing machine like a lot right now.
Yeah, but if anyone knocks on your door, like a policeman or such, and says, "Has Jane ever talked about that?" No, definitely not.
No, officer.
The conversation never happened. Okay, anyway, Lily's arrived and she's thrown all the bachelors into a spin because now they're like, "Oh my goodness, now I have to choose between 2." Glenn's happy. Life is
Glenn's happy.
twice as good. He's got all the options.
Glenn's
Take
horny.
his pick.
That's what Glenn is.
So yuck. Never had 2 women before. Maybe now's my
Do you
chance.
think anyone? Do you think anyone is watching and going, "He's a bit of all right"?
He's a bit of all wrong, eh? Shit.
He's a lot of all wrong. He's totally all wrong. Anyway, multiple moles. Turns out Richie the bartender is Lily's mate as well, so he's been moling. And I'm very happy to see the return of the espresso martini.
Richie the
to the Bachelor
bartender.
franchise.
I went to high school with him.
Did you?
Yeah, and he's like good friends with Leonie.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
used to
good
be, he used to be
friends.
on the old punk scene, didn't he?
Yeah, more metal scene more than punk scene, but
Well,
sort of punk
okay.
metal,
Punk
but more metal than punk.
Can you
Okay,
be sure
alright.
now, knowing what you know, that he was a friend and not a mole from way back?
I mean, it
I'd say
seems
hardcore,
weird.
by the way.
A little. But I struggle to say because he'll be my age, which is the big 40, which is quite a bit older than Lillian. So they must be recent friends, is what I'm saying.
True.
Which is better than Daryl and Lesina, who, from my understanding, didn't know each other at all prior to the show. She's got a best man on the job.
It's just trying to make good TV. It's not about reality.
And I tell you what, it's doing a good job of it, because for all my harumphing last week about messing with the format, I love it now. I love the show.
It's a magical
love it.
execution.
Also, the voiceover, I think, has totally fallen into place now that it's just a fucking shit show. I think it has. In terms of like,
Can't do it.
really? I think
mean,
when it's
you know,
when it's like being
I'm
more
a,
perfunctory.
I'm a big fan of Jodie Rimmer, It's Jodie Rimmer, right?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Jodie Rimmer, but I just don't like the voiceover in the Bachelor format at all. It's not her I have a problem with.
I think that's
It's
a
just
kind
the
of.
inclusion of the voiceover at all.
I think it's the kind of thing that sensible people can disagree on, and we can respect one another's positions.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's
Jojo?
how the real pod falls apart.
Jane, I'll still go to war for you, bro.
Did you call me Jojo?
I called you Joe, and then I panicked and sort of said Ja. I don't really know. But Jane, I mean
Right. Okay.
That's nice, bro. I mean,
It's really
of you
nice,
for your-
man.
for your bra.
If I would sup you across the internet if I could, and especially
Yeah.
right in front of Duncan's face.
it. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Lily's intro was really great. She's like, I'm a weird media organism. Accurate description.
Yeah.
And then she was like, she's a doctor though, which was cute. I just
Yeah.
thought Lily is exactly what this show needed.
Yeah. I buy their friendship. I buy her.
Yeah.
Kind of, she said a couple of times in the media that she was like, I will only do this if you're not pitting us against each other, and if it shows women like supporting each other and building each other up. And I think up until now at least, that seems to be the case. Like, and also, who wouldn't be just incredibly impressed by Lesina and want to be best friends with them? Like, I want to see a road movie that's just Lily and Lesina, just knocking
And equally,
about.
who wouldn't want to be best friends with Lily?
Yeah.
You've picked two people that everyone wants to be best friends with, so of course they're going to be best friends with each other. Half the cast was cast for Lily apparently, and half the cast was cast for Lesina. We could see that as the viewers, but they've even made it plain in the show, like very self-aware, which is great. I love that sort of thing. And so then they showed this thing of them and Art hanging out at the Cursed Suites, talking about, how it was all going to play out like weeks ago.
I mean, I think that to your point, Alex, about how Lily said, I'm only going to go on it if it's about sort of female support and friendship rather than being pitted against one another. Like, I think the production's done a really great job of executing that. Like, the natural way for reality TV to approach something like this would have been to go in that direction, and it would have been a much easier sort of way to approach it. But I think that they made it so that that's barely crosses your mind, even though it's the most logical way to do it, which is like, it's pretty artful for the old format.
Yeah, and to be honest, at this stage, the only man who's like going after both of them is Glenn. I don't think that's going to be a problem for either of them to make a decision there.
Glenn's
happy.
something else, man.
Glenn is not 28. Can we have a TED talk about that?
What? How old do you think he is?
Like 36?
No.
Don't you think?
No.
I'm 28. Glenn is not the same age as me.
Well, no, but
Perfect. Eligible.
he's probably never had three women at the same time either. Let's keep piling them in, Glenn. Shoot for the moon.
On the topic of ages, I am surprised that Connor is only 24. And I'm forever surprised that Lily is only 22.
She's still only 20. How old was she when she was
She
on
was
The Bachelor?
20 when she was on The Bachelor.
That feels like forever and fourscore ago.
It does. She might be 23. She might have turned 23.
Well,
yeah.
Anyway, she's
Numbers,
a baby. Glenn's very happy that there's a possibility of a 2-for-1 special. Hasn't had two women at the same time yet. This could be his chance. Which it's a stretch given he's not talked to Lesina yet.
Lily. Lily.
But
Lily.
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 you know.
Lily.
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 because
Lily.
he said Lesina, like he basically hasn't talked to Lesina either.
Oh, we were just...
doing
Oh,
we
you're
were-
doing the Lily.
we were doing a
I
bit.
see, yeah. Sorry. I thought you were correcting me.
Lily.
Lily.
Lily. Some of the best
Oh,
television
it's so
we've ever
iconic.
had on our screens.
Incredible.
We needed that. It was so amazing. What do you think of Steve? Because Lesina had one-on-one time with Steve this week.
Had a full-blown date,
This
right?
Yes.
Yeah. This is the guy that I said last week. I was like, why is he not on camera more? I feel like he's kind of been overlooked quite a lot. He's just like hovering in the background, like quite a good-looking guy. What's his deal? And today we found out what his deal is. Bit boring, but what a nice guy.
Oh, lovely guy.
Lovely man. He quit his
Gave up
job
his
for this.
I know. And good job, like an account manager for a construction company. Is that a good job? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think account manager is
Boom.
always something that's impressive, isn't it?
And construction, boom industry.
Oh, yeah. I love him. Except for he's out of a job now, so.
Yeah, but he can get a job in a heartbeat. Account manager in construction, that's jobs for life, I reckon.
I think, like, looking at them, they're like, what a great looking couple together. But she's not so keen because he's a bit timid. Anyway.
I think she's a douche head. You know?
Yeah.
Loves a
To
douche.
be clear that she
Yeah. I think you might be right. What else happened on that first night?
The mole's
Tavita
shirt was
had-
very open.
Oh, look.
He's
yeah.
losing
So is
buttons by the day.
Terence's shirt's quite open too. Just
Yeah,
a couple of
I
open
love
shirted
Terence. We had a tense discussion in the kitchen, but I reckon Terence is like way up there for Lily for me. I love it.
legs. He's so not.
He's a loose unit, and he's fun.
We have to remember, I think, that Lily caught real feelings for Zach. So the brief is quite wide open for Lily, I reckon. Or do you think she was just caught in the moment?
with Zach.
Well, yeah, because can you imagine if Zach was one of the bachelors on this show right now, one of the suitors?
Oh, I wouldn't
Can
have
you
chance.
imagine that she would look at him and go, oh, he's all right? I think we'd be like, no, she's not interested in him. But
I think Zach
was
would.
very interested.
I think Zach would shine on this show because he's genuine and like a sweetheart. And there's a lot of Graham guys on here right now who are, you know, like can't tear themselves away from the big gang of lads, even when the women are around, even when they get their precious morsels of time.
Speaking of Graham guys, Tavita thought the surprise was going to be a child, and he's sat there with Lily explaining this, and I don't know if you noticed his man spread. It felt like completely inappropriate for your first time chatting to someone. He had one foot up on the armchair,
Great.
and knees pointing in opposite continents, basically. And it was way too relaxed for
That's
you know,
alpha dog.
a first meeting. Very alpha dog.
And those
And
are
he
tight
ironed
pants.
everyone's shirts.
What'd you say?
Oh, it made a gag. It fell flat.
Good.
No, if the audio fumbled.
I said he ironed everyone's shirts when you said he was an alpha dog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well. Anyway.
He was trying to explain that as being an alpha move, right? And being an alpha is about caring for people. That little
Shitting
speech was
kid,
like,
yeah.
come on.
So confusing. Yeah.
I mean, hilarious, but doesn't scream winner or even
Yeah.
like progressing particularly far where that's the kind of level of discourse.
How about Liam just completely glitching out in his one-on-one with Lesina? I love
Liam
it.
choked so bad.
That was like worse than Glenn.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like Glenn is obviously like he's read a manual about what a human is, but not like he's read the instructions to the manual. He's read the contents page of the manual and he's like, I got this. Whereas Liam has this insane cockiness. And then when he gets into the moment, he could barely speak, which probably a fair reaction to being around Lesina. But it was the gap between how he presented in his kind of promos ahead of time to how he performed. Has there ever been such a wide gulf?
It was incredible.
Never.
But I loved it.
He's got a good-
I kind of
got a
love
good
Liam
house,
for
though.
it.
Yeah.
He's got a grey house that he owns.
No.
No.
I also like when he tried to impress her, being like, he's like, yeah, I love photography. And he's like, oh, what do you photograph? He's like, really cool things. You know, lots of things. Close-ups, action shots. It's just like, what are you talking about?
I've actually got a phone on
Also, I
you get
thought-
phones on your camera now. I mean, a camera on your phone now.
He tried, because obviously she's a successful, ambitious woman, and he's trying to buy into that, saying that's my kind of a gal. But he says, I put a lot of pressure on females to be ambitious, which is a terrible, terrible.
Really
thing to
bad.
say.
Great selling point.
Yeah.
Just starting anything with I put a lot of pressure on females too is like whatever you say after that, it doesn't matter. You're already sunk. And he's looking for someone a little more. He says you're looking for someone a little more dominant, and I think it's me. I mean, the whole thing. He was
It was a shit
like
show.
throwing shit at the wall to see what would stick, and it all slid down.
What do we think?
but
Like, sorry to interrupt, Jane. Like, I feel like Lesina, if she's being honest, must be like, there's a lot in this cupboard, but almost none of it. A lot of cans in the pantry, but none of them. They're all expired.
Yeah.
They're all like, it's all like nut loaf. It's like
It's tough.
It's
Who
real.
on paper, is worthy?
I mean, I still think Aaron is my pick, but
Oh, Aaron, got completely turned off Aaron this week.
Why the hat?
because the hat was a real problem.
The
We've got to
hat's
address the
It's really
hat.
bad.
He swapped it out for a grey or like.
Yeah.
Right?
I think like multiple.
I'd look-
hands.
oh,
my
God.
phone's gonna die.
Oh no!
Jane, no.
I can still hear you.
No,
do you
we've
want?
got 20%. I think Terence is the
It's
only one allowed
power-free.
to wear a hat.
Terence, yeah.
That's
100%.
the law.
Yeah.
Okay.
And suspenders and a bow tie all at once.
And a shirt unbuttoned to
Let's-
his navel. Cuffed trousers, no
quickly-
socks.
Let's
Moustache.
quickly,
Long hair.
sake.
Oh, sorry, Jane.
I'm just really concerned about the 20%.
Oh, we
I just
all
wanna
are.
get to the roast ceremony.
Okay.
Okay. Jessie made the best impression and got her first rose from Lily. Marcus goes home. Even though he said he's not there to staple jelly to trees, he went home. And then they went through this whole thing of like choosing which team they're on. So on Team Lily, we've got Jessie, Flynn, Marc, Dom, and Glenn said Team Lily.
No,
at that
I thought
point.
Glenn was both. Who was both?
Weirdly, Marc said Team Lily on that first night.
Marc said Team
Which
Lily.
I didn't like the flip flop.
I've written down Glenn as Team Lily, just in this is immediately basically after that first rose ceremony when Lily's only just arrived. 50-50, Quinn, Jonathan, Connor, George, Terence and Liam. And Team Lesina are Kurt, Tavita, Steve, Logan and Daryl. Then the girls went on a one-on-one date with each other to Snow Planet, which was bloody great. I really enjoyed that. That was the best date of the lot so far. And the boys got to play pinball and go to the pub. There's a basketball court at this place.
No, they should
Like
they should not be allowed to play basketball. Have you seen all of the footage of them playing basketball is so funny and good.
I know, just like the point of like, what a great time.
Yeah.
What a fucking great time. I know we talked about it last week, but it blows my mind. What else is happening? There was that great, during the snowboarding, there was a great little edited section where it just chopped from Lily and Lesina chatting about the guys back to them like having a good time at the pub. And like Lily's like, oh, I'm happy the girls get to call the shots, and then it cuts to the boys all going shot, 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 shot.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Great edit.
Are you allowed to to do that much drinking on television?
I mean,
There was a lot of glamorizing drinking on the television.
it's crazy
The
some
beer
of the
pong
stuff.
as well.
But it was the same with like maths New Zealand. Like there's this new trend where they're just like really hammering the booze and getting quite sloppy.
Yeah.
I mean, love to watch. Like the beer pong. Like I love to watch. And Connor seemed kind of wasted after that.
It was so funny.
He's definitely not immune to alcohol. But
After their lovely snowboarding, Lily and Lesina went to have lunch in Takapuna, and Art joined them for a 2-on-1, and he basically starts putting pressure on them to pash. He's like, I think like on my third single date, I think I pashed a chick. Who was his first pash? Was it Danny?
it was so
I
Crystal.
think weirdly, no, his
Wasn't
first
it?
kiss was Amanda.
No.
Yeah,
The
no,
tall
I
one?
think it was.
No.
Was it the outside
She
the
was like
barn?
a mum of twins, if you recall.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it was like we'll find it. I'll just research. I'm pretty sure it was like it wasn't one of the heavy hitters.
right. Wow. Anyway, they both fancy Quinn, which looks for a split second like it's going to be a problem, but I really don't think it is.
No.
As we go further down the line. But that's kind of what they leave us with. Then on Monday, George tells the sensitive boys, because they seem to have split themselves into two teams of sensitive and what is it? What were they saying? Like the masculine guys? Team Sensei, Team Masculine. Anyway, he tells them that he's bisexual. Glenn.
Oh, God.
Glenn.
Sensitive Glenn.
Yeah, get out of there.
He's like, called it. Called it.
I did have a thought when it's like, wow, why is that your response? Also, I loved him like taking these really big gulps of orange juice the whole time while George is kind of talking. Like, clearly just did not know what to do. And just said maybe the worst thing you can say, like, Glenn. But I loved Aaron's response. I thought Aaron's response was like,
great.
Also just a great thing to keep in your mind when there's like someone says something problematic or weird and you kind of have that panic moment where you don't know how to address it, to just say, that's a really weird thing to say, and kind of put the onus back on them. I really thought that was like very good of him.
Cool. Aaron's good, man.
Yeah.
I know that he wore a funny hat.
but
I
there's
know.
some stuff.
Well, we'll get to that.
Anyway,
Right.
it didn't stop Glenn. Basically, he just used it as an opportunity to talk about how keen he would be for a threesome. That he'd be quite happy to date a bisexual girl. So
Yeah.
that he can.
And he
Someone
framed
needs
it.
to tell Glenn that's not how it works.
Yeah. Also, he framed it as like he's like, seeing as we're all coming out, I'd love a bisexual. I was like, that's not what coming out is.
It's not coming out. It's being
Coming
a dirty
out-
perv.
Oh, yeah, coming out as being a real horny guy.
I
Okay.
did have a thought.
Two wonderful dates on Monday night. Marc went on a one-on-one date with Lesina to, I assume, was Ambury Farm, to milk a cow. Classic date fodder. And Terence went on a one-on-one with Lily to do some speedboat racing. Would much rather do that date, by the way.
Really, I'm Team Farm.
I
Really?
thought you might be
Fuck
Team
yeah.
Cow.
That speedboat looked fucking scary. I was like, that's safe. That's too fast.
It was
In a
very
small little
fast.
pond. No, thank you.
No.
But
I
he's-
thought it was weird on the farm
Push
date.
yourself out of your comfort zone, Casey.
Eh? No, not
Push
not
yourself
keen.
out of your comfort zone.
Not for me.
Okay.
I found it weird that they had to feed those pigs like guzzling down that milk. I became real fixated on that. They were both pouring like shots, huge 2-liter bottle of milk straight into the mouths of the pigs. It was weird. Why do
Fine.
pigs drink
It's got
milk?
a drink too.
Cow milk.
How do you know it's
pigs
cow
have milk.
Why
milk?
do humans? Why do
But they
humans
were
drink
adult
cow milk?
pigs.
But it might
they
have
were
been pig-
growing ass pigs.
It's just like a thing for you.
It was weird.
But it could have been pig milk.
But they were old pigs.
It's definitely not pig
What are you
milk.
trying to say about old pigs?
I don't know. I just feel like they eat like a cabbage or whatever. I just
Yeah,
didn't
but
know a
that's not
pig
drink.
chugged a 2-liter bottle of milk.
I had a cabbage smoothie this morning.
That's crazy.
Duncan, you
That
doing that
sounds
with your fingers
disgusting.
right close to the camera is really distracting.
I don't know. So if there are any pig people out there, I'd really like to know about that because I found it just quite weird.
Did you say, are there any pig people out there?
There are definitely pig people out there.
Are they in the corner?
There's at least one. I'm sure of it.
The corner is filling up, by the way. There are people just knocking at the door. It's concerning and fun at the same time. The corner, by the way, if you're new around here, is our private Facebook group. It's called Real Pod Corner, and it's where lovely people discuss lovely things about reality TV and other stuff too.
Hello, beloved Corny. I've got some breaking news for you. You may or may not know we've launched the Spin-Off Members Program. This is a program that allows you, our readers, to contribute to the future direction of our coverage. If you donate over $80, you get a free tea towel illustrated by the legend himself, Toby Morris. I am on it, if that matters to you. If you become a part of our members club, you can support us hiring more journalists. You can tell us what you like, what you don't like about what the spin-off's doing, and you can also tell us what you'd like to see in the future. If you want more information on it, you can go to www.thespinoff.co.nz/members.
What else? Marc opens up about his daughter. They have Pash. He tells on Glenn about the whole permission thing. and then admits that he's an alpha male because he irons stays up all night ironing everybody's shirts. And this is the point where Lesina thinks, "Oh, you're not super bright. Like, lovely body, fantastic fullback angel wing tattoos, but is that what you think an alpha male is?"
Well, can we?
Oh my god, what percent are we?
No, it's all good. It's all good. 37. We're on the app.
We're rocking.
I put it on the chat.
Oh, okay, we're
Oh my
fine.
god. Getting Facebook messages keep popping up in front of the screen. I'm freaking out.
Marc, I won't read them. Marc, we have a sort. Can I say this?
Oh, I don't know what you're about to say.
We've got a source has told us that Marc has spent a total of a year in the UK.
But he's got a really strong UK accent.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's a geezer. Out the apples and pears. I love it. He also confirmed on his Instagram he does have an elvish band tattooed around his arm as well. So big Lord of the Rings guy.
Maybe that's where he got his accent.
Have you told him? Have you slid into his DMs and told him that you had a Lord of the Rings?
I did actually. He didn't ask me anything. And did nary respond to my question, which was, who do you make chocolate for? And I was like, maybe it sounded like a weird euphemism or something. I don't know.
I think that's funny. What should it be a euphemism for?
I don't know.
It can only be.
It always sounds like it sounds like it could be like you're a leading question. Like he'd respond, and then you'd be like, "Do you ever want to make chocolate for me or something?" You're team Marc though. Like you're quite deep into Marc, aren't you?
Well, this has been misread. All I said was I went in to defend Marc during the Marc v Glenn permission gate. That does not mean that I endorse Marc as a candidate.
I've been telling everyone, how much you love the entirety of Marc's being.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty good evidence.
God damn it.
Same with Alice, who's producing us today. Hi, Alice. Huge Marc head.
That is a false claim. I'm on the same camp as Alex. I was defending him against
in
Glenn.
that moment.
But he's an asshole.
I mean,
Huge
I feel
Marc
like we've
heads.
also kind of glossed over the kiss.
Oh,
It was full on, and it happened more than once, and I was like, this is too hot for television.
really?
It's too hot for The Office.
Really?
I was watching in The Office, and I was like, no.
Did you think it was hot and not yuck?
Well, it was yuck, but it was full on. Just like tongues.
Yeah.
It was
He's
full
a
on.
real.
It was a real proper passionate pash kiss.
It was like a teen tonguey old pash. He was like leading with the tongue.
Yeah.
So anyway, regarding the ironing of the shirts, Lesina is trying to figure out whether he's a bit thick and doesn't know that that's not really what it means to be an alpha male, or if he's just saying what he thinks she wants to hear. What's your opinion? I reckon a bit of both.
Number two.
Definitely number two.
Number two.
He's trying to he wants to show her that he's sensitive and like a father figure and caring, but also doesn't want to be associated with that being like a Suki Lala, to use a Tavita terminology. So just trying to change the meaning of the phrase because the boys will be watching at home.
Meanwhile, Terence and Lily having a lovely boat race, making bets about jumping into pools and such. And just a nice time. Lovely dinner, good chat.
Yeah, they had a nice day. I just don't.
It seemed like two pals though.
But I feel like they're more like buddies than like paramours, because even his like. Yeah, I was just going to go get my dive ticket up in Cairns and then see what happens. Like, I feel like, so my theory of like how you get to be with Lily is like you need to sort of be willing to hitch your wagon to her like runaway freight train, and that because she is going to be rocking around the world. She's the alpha in the relationship. I mean, not that Terence is like a sort of, he's obviously like a sweet guy, but he seems a bit sort of aimless and he wants to just travel and do kind of Lily type things, but on his own schedule. Maybe he could sort of alter his plans to do that. It just didn't. It feels like they're just going to have a good time, but it doesn't feel like the depth.
Yeah.
Tell you
you could
who's
be
ready
right. It's
to
a
hit-
compelling argument. They were just fun to watch. Like, I just love to watch them
were
do
fun to watch.
things.
Mm.
Not like that.
Steve's keen to hitch his wagon to someone else's life. He's done it before. Maybe Steve and Lily could get together. Match made in weird.
For a moment, I was like, who is Steve? And then I remembered.
I know, exactly. Yeah, poor Steve. Marc came home from his date, told everyone that he'd kissed, like, pretty much like the first thing he said. Like, got a rose, passed her.
He's yuck.
Which was real yuck. And
it
was a real show-off thing. It's not like he was, it's not like the guys were like, oh, did you get a kiss in? He announced it to all. Like,
and also, like, the way that he announced it, it felt like while he was doing it, the main reason it was so, like, hot for him was, oh, God, I can't wait to tell the guys. Oh, it just, that felt like the prime motivator, which is odd.
We've also glossed over that when he arrived, the men were doing a shirtless car wash.
Oh, the car wash.
Which was crazy. The image of Glenn in a fedora sponging down the mole with no shirt on is forever seared into my brain. It was so intense.
Man, paint over the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel with that, I reckon.
I'm going to put something out there. I don't think this was a producer-led activity.
It was lad-led?
I reckon that there's some guys in there who just love a bit of tally time. And just thought that this would be a bit of fun, good bit of camera action on that, Watch us soaping up the car.
You know what I love? Jesse's little dance.
Oh yeah,
it's like excited little jog on the spot kind of jumpy thing that he does.
I like Jesse.
I love
like Jesse too.
Jesse. So cute.
There was a bake-off challenge in which Connor was fucking robbed. Like, no one wanted time with Connor at the end of that bake-off challenge.
Yeah.
He had by far and away, out of, like, definitely best of a bad bunch, they were all supremely shit. And they were set up because trying to make buttercream without any kind of an actual mixer, like doing buttercream by hand, fuck off. But anyway.
But they didn't have to do buttercream, right?
No, but how else do you make icing?
Just a little water and ice and sugar.
Bit of jam.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I think most of them did. Anyway, his looked the best, but Jesse one time with Lily and that all went really well, and Kurt one time with Lesina, and it was surprisingly awkward, and no rose was given to him.
Kurt is luggage, man.
Oh no, poor Kurt.
Oh, I love him, but
Kurt.
he's not going to work on the show.
No,
he blew his load
so much
at the start. Great entrance, great little sort of capsule bio, but he is wooden mud, if that's possible.
Yeah.
I just got to give it up for Kurt for when she's like, she had that like chocolate cream and she's like, do you want some on your cake? And he's like, no, I'll take some on my coffee though. And just like weirdly had this huge, I was like, I love that. That's,
I think
he knows what he wants.
He goes, that's a Starbucks move. The Starbucks do that. So I reckon he's a Starbucks fan. As well as being a Warriors fan. Gets a Starbucks on the way to the Warriors. Or on the way home.
Another minor Kurt note that I like that he's got a party shirt that's like a party shirt from the front and then from the back. It's Warriors merch. He's got nothing in his wardrobe that isn't official merch. Fuck, he rules.
I actually think he does have stuff in his wardrobe that's not official merch, but I think when he was packing to come on the show, he was like, my best shirt, my other best shirt.
I also just love how he wrote Kurt next to his cake and icing. I thought it's so fun.
Anyway, we were left on the cliffhanger of I don't even know what on Monday night, just Connor not getting chosen for one-on-one time, and we cruised into a cocktail party on Tuesday night, and this is where we get the Lily. Hey, Lily. Glenn wants a kiss from Lily, so he decides to take her for a walk. where he tells her, I can have really deep conversations.
Yeah, really deep personality.
And like sticks a wooden arm around her as they're walking along.
What's his hand stuff, by the way?
I don't know.
That he's
Not
read
right.
about that on the internet.
Yeah.
And it's yuck. And please don't do it.
What's the hand stuff?
He always grabs their hands and like it's like he's different. Like he's so coached. All his weird crap is coached from. It's just pure pickup artistry, and it's just it makes your skin crawl watching it in action.
Okay, so I was of the understanding that pickup artistry like works on anyone, even if you're like a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
And yet it's Glenn's tanking.
But Glenn's not executing. Like I think it works on some level if you like know the moves and you execute it with confidence. But Glenn, it honestly is like a really badly coded bot, sort of glitching their way through it. It's like a text to speech adaptation, you know? Like it just everything is so odd.
There's so much. I've just Googled. I'm looking at some horrible bestpuatraining.com. Holding hands, doing anything like if you hug or if there's like a reason for your hands to touch, to grab them and not let go is like a big part of this.
Seems like kidnapping.
You should do a story on this, like related to Glenn, because this is crazy. Look
This
at all
is
this
so
best
crazy.
PUA. Like, look at that menu.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's got all these. Oh god.
Can you share that link in the corner? Because I'd be interested in looking at that.
No, it's a story. Journo's in there.
Need to up.
It's our
Need
secret.
to up my game. Yeah, we've talked about it in the podcast now.
Tattoo.
Sorry, it was a tangent,
Okay.
but that's crazy. That's proof.
Kino escalation. Far out.
What's okay? During the cocktail party, Aaron gets a kiss from Lesina, which he just really wanted because Marc had one, and he too comes back and announces it to all, which I
Yeah.
think was like just a bad move on his behalf. I believe his feelings are genuine. I believe that he really wanted that kiss, and he just felt it wasn't like he felt like Marc had won. He just was hurt because he would have really liked one. So he went and got one, comes back, announces to all, which just does everything for me.
And does everything? I think he said that I think that's social pressure and him not really knowing how to be.
Yeah, but that's why it undoes it. Like, if I was interested in someone and that was kind of like how they responded to something like that, I'd be like, okay,
that's fair. I just think given the trash fire that is most of those guys, Aaron still holds up as.
Well, what do you make of his historic revelations that he was, a bit of a prick for a long time, slept with a lot of girls, and then just kind of ghosted them by the sounds of things? Because she was like, red flag, but then she was also like, mwah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, because he did the classic, I've learnt from that.
Yeah. But then he was like, it sounded like it wasn't that long ago.
He's thinking about all the girls who are going to come out of the woodwork now that he's on the telly, saying, oh, I know, I slept with that guy, I never heard from him again. And so he's preempting it.
It just sounded intense when he was like, I lost a lot of friends and stuff. I feel like that's not nothing. That's not like, I don't know. It made me go, oh, I don't know about that.
Like, well, so
he's a grown ass man. He's a teacher. It's not like he's just like a schlubby young guy.
Yeah, but we don't know how long ago it was. Like, could have been.
No, but I think he said it was like January. Like, he was like, it was yesterday, but I'm learning.
The crew don't like me.
I wear a hat now. I'm different.
Okay. Again, I'm just defending
I do think
Aaron.
he's the best of the lot. Like, with all that considered.
He's the
still,
least
is...
rotten apple.
Exactly.
I like
and
Quinn.
people can change,
I like
of course.
Quinn, though.
Oh,
Is
yes,
Quinn
that's
not the
right.
best?
I love Quinn.
Quinn's
I was thinking
great.
of
So
Lesina's batch.
Lily has a lovely pool game with Quinn.
Yeah.
And she basically at the end of it is like, I wish I could spend more time with him, but I can't, which is, not a vibe I've gotten from literally any other interaction between a bachelorette and one of these guys so far. Tavita, is this when Tavita
Does the snitch.
does the snitch?
Breaks the bro code in the worst way.
Snitchy lala.
Yeah, he did. He told Marc that Marc kissed her as the result of like basically a dare or a bet from the guys. He's straight up stirring the pot. I feel like Tavita is a plant at this point. Was he invited to be on the show? Surely.
I think he might have been shoulder tapped to be on the show, but I don't feel like that moment was engineered. I feel like he just
No, not at all. Yeah. But I think he's not I don't think it was his idea to come on the show and find love, and therefore he's probably not too afraid to shake things up and cause some drama.
I disagree. I think that he has got a Google alert for any NZ reality TV show, and he's applying to be on all of them. So you don't need to tap that shoulder. He is like camping outside your door like it's the freaking big day out. And so because he's keen as hell. But I think he's on there for a great time. I don't think he's a plant, and I don't think he's into like you just see his face. He's sort of panicking all the time. Like it doesn't vibe like that to me. I just think he's kind of an idiot, you know.
Yeah,
like
it was such a weird thing to do because it also implicated him in it. He's like, "Yeah, Marc, what a dick. He did that shitty dare that I dared him to do." You know, like it was so weird. It was such a weird
Was there
move.
a dare? Was there like a bit of banter shown earlier on?
I don't think we saw any.
No, there was a I bet you can't kiss her was how it was, and I think that was actually a bit of a production error, and that they could have called back to the moment, which I quite enjoy when they do that in reality. But I'm sure that there was something where it was like, oh yeah, no, I can, you know, because these are grown up guys.
When Tavita was having this conversation with Lesina, she just her response to anything where she's uncomfortable is to giggle, and she was just about giggling herself to death at this point. Like she was giggling so much, she was hearing something she didn't want to hear. But it was making her giggle so much. Anyway, then Dom had a convo with her, and she basically couldn't remember any of it because she was too messed up after Tavita's chat. And then she sat down and had a chat with Daryl, who set the record straight. Didn't think the kiss was a result of a bet, even though he surely can't have been in every single conversation that these guys had. And he was like the worst mole.
He's
great
so
guy,
funny.
not personally. But there's no real moling going on.
I want to see a show where we send Daryl in to be like a secret shopper, you know, and he's just so obvious. Oh, God. He did say braggadocious, though, and I feel like that cannot be understated because I've never heard that word before.
Really?
Never heard it.
Oh,
use it in a sentence.
His you know, okay. Look, I'm watching this. I feel like I'm freaking what's the Australian guy's name? Liam. I think a Liam moment. It's just a descriptor of a particular Marc is clearly a braggadocious guy, and
Roughly.
That's bragging is a short form of braggadocious.
Braggadocious. I love it.
Anyway,
or a braggart, you know?
Right.
Like a cool Shakespearean bloody insult.
Now that Daryl's work here is done, he gets axed from the show. Doesn't matter, and she's like, "Doesn't matter. I've got Lily here now to suss everything out." I think it's pretty obvious when Lily's in the room, even more so than when Daryl's in the room. So I'm not sure that's going to work so well. Did you see Glenn doing flexing during the rose ceremony in this one?
No.
No.
He's in the background just doing this.
Like a circus strongman.
Yeah. You couldn't see what I was doing.
I would love a supercut of every second that Glenn's on the screen.
Dom and Daryl go home. Dom says Dominator out and does a dab and says dab as he does the dab. Dom was a crazy handsome but
young
a little bit
guy.
nice but dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I quite liked him.
Yeah.
I even liked that he had a kind of a salesman's suit on at the dinner party.
Yeah, that's right.
He's just giving everything a crack, and he's just a bit bewildered about how things work.
Yeah.
Loved him. Really good looking.
When Lesina was doing a diary cam at the end of this episode, or near the end of this episode, they don't just do a rose ceremony at the end of the episode. They all kind of roll into one. But she did a diary cam, and she's in this Lily's in the room getting ready, and there's also someone else sitting on the floor in the background. There's just clothes everywhere. And she's just walking around like an influence, so comfortable talking to her phone in front of other people. It's crazy. She's like just built for this. Though we have said, if you look at her Instagram page, it is quite influencer-ish, like has been for a while.
It's amazing.
Right?
I want to know who takes, like, because there are photos of her like in her scrubs being like, just did a shift, love my job, hashtag Dr. Life or whatever. And they are like lit. And I mean in the literal sense. Like they look amazing to the point where when I saw her profile the first time, I thought she was a Shorten Street actor. Because it looked like a publicity shot for like a TV show.
I thought the Scrubs one would have been taken during like filming her promos for this very show.
Maybe, but I feel like they go deep. Like there's all these weird, I don't know, maybe she's just like a really good influencer.
Maybe she's got one of those little plug-in ring lights on the top of her phone that, you know,
maybe she
gives
has
good
like
glow.
I think she has like a crew around her. She must. She's just perfect. I would need to know
Where's
how.
Duncan?
Duncan just left.
Duncan's just gone.
Did he say anything,
Okay.
Alice, or did he just get up and leave? That's all good.
Just gone.
That's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
Just me and you, Jane. A 1-on-1.
I was thinking that the suites opposite Victoria Park in Auckland, quite a drive from Karaka.
37 mins.
Which is where the mansion is.
37 mins. I Google Maps it.
In no traffic, though.
Yeah.
It's like a motorway. Traffic starts from about 1 o'clock in the afternoon there.
Well, and you know what else I thought? I was like, is Art coming from Warkworth, you know, every day? Does he go home? He must go home. He had a new baby.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of reasons why, because I feel like Art isn't in this show as much as I thought he would be.
Well, he was in it a lot at the beginning, wasn't he? And then he's, you know, first ep or two, and then he sort of bowed out a bit.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I guess when you've got a new baby, you can't be at work all the time. It's got to breastfeed and all sorts. Okay, one-on-one date. Steve had a one-on-one date with Lesina. They did some knife throwing out at Braku. She was very good at that, weirdly, just secret skill. He was a good shot with the old clay pigeon shooting. And I did love old-timey Sir Tim. Where did they get that guy from?
Amazing.
Put him in the mansion.
They got him from the 1930s.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved it.
He should be the bartender.
He's like, brilliant. He just loved it. Lesina was like very good at shooting that gun.
Very
though.
good.
That knife throw looked fun. That looked like to me, I was like, that looks like a fun date.
Yeah. Okay. Joe.
If you
Take
listen.
notes.
He's
She's not feeling the sexual attraction with Steve, but he's lovely and he hits the mark intellectually and emotionally. Reminds her of her ex-boyfriend and dad. Could be a terrible combo.
Yeah.
Could be a winning combo. Who knows?
I like Steve. I think Steve. There's like sort of 3 or 4 actual nice, like reasonably well-adjusted men on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially 5, but it feels like none of them, with the exception of possibly Aaron. But you're right. I mean, the more I think about his like confession, the more it's a bit. Yeah, it is a bit red flaggish. But they just clearly. The women have no interest in them. And it's hard to imagine that changing within the realm of the show.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
if you know, they're sort of like friends who could become more over the passage of time as the tides wear away your defenses kind of thing. But like
Yeah.
this show really rewards kind of extroverted alpha types.
Yeah, but I also feel like they're all going to destroy each other over the course of the
They all
show.
go-
Like already with
they
Tavita and Marc,
absolutely
it was
are.
like, what the fuck was all
Well,
that?
I
shit?
mean, not to leap ahead too far, but the Argentina promo looked like a horror movie. Like
know.
when
Constantly shot
alphas
at Marc.
attack.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It looks so good. I have to say, I think they've really done a good job. Like, I don't
No
know.
one's got any
Not
clothes
one.
on ever.
Ever.
Mark's like actual penis
Yeah.
appears to be out. Like for a long
Night
time.
Night one, when they all rolled out of their Suzuki Swift, I was like, oh, you know how they had posters up outside gyms being like, we're still looking for bachelors, you know, and I was like, they're really scraping. But actually, now I see it all come together. I'm like, no, they've been very careful about their casting because they've got drama, which was what I was concerned about that they wouldn't have. I feel like there's more drama in this than there ever was in The Bachelor with all the girls in the house. And we've only just begun our journey to love.
And the weird thing is,
Tavita,
there's more drama.
Sorry.
There's more drama in this, despite the fact that the total quantum of people who are there for Lesina versus there for just a wonderful lad's 6-week bender is like way more skewed towards the lad. Like you could see the excitement about going to Argentina. It's like all of the lads are going to Argentina.
Yeah.
Oh, and Lesina's probably going to be there. Like, oh, that will be a drag. Yeah, but lads on tour. Fuck. Jessie was jumping through the floor,
was so
through the roof.
excited.
Oh man, but it is. I mean, okay, we
Sorry, I do that.
Tavita owned up to Marc about snitching on him, the kiss bet situation. And Marc played it really cool. He was obviously not phased at all, picking his nails to within an inch of their lives, just staring at the floor.
I love it. They can't look at each other.
It was
they
like
can't look at each other. They're like guilty dogs.
That is like a Barry Crump novel. I've not read a Barry Crump novel, but I'm assuming
What you imagine it is.
The entirety of the natural range of New Zealand male emotional expression was contained in that exchange.
Yeah. I made a boo-boo, bro. I dogged on you for the smooching. What a line.
That would be a great tattoo.
It would be.
Like in the real...
An
like,
Elvish.
yeah.
I made a boo-boo, bro.
I dogged on you for the smooching.
Marc thinks Tavita's still one of the boys despite the dog act, and then in the moment he has a cry about it, which is, I mean, it's sort of sweet, but also, it's so bad. I was giggling. It's terrible. Am I a bad person?
No, you're good.
Okay, thanks. So then last night's episode, or tonight's episode, depending on when you're listening to this, it's Lem's birthday. They've done a lovely job of decorating, and then they sit down and have a wee gratitude circle. And this time Tavita's crying about being home to help his mum.
This was a gut punch, this whole
really
thing.
Was. It came out of nowhere.
It was. I was like lolling at the gratitude circle at first, and then I was like, whoa, I feel bad for lolling at the gratitude circle.
And just kind of shitty decorations around in the KFC. It was just like, weirdly felt like the realest moment yet.
Totally. And also that was a portrait of like men alone. Like when we are left to ourselves to try and make a home, it's bad, man. It gets fucking dark fucking fast. And I think you saw that. Like if you go on holiday with a group of guys, like from what I've heard, when women go on holiday, it's quite nice.
Yeah.
When men go on holiday, like just a quick digression. I went to Melbourne for the Boxing Day test, and with a group of friends of mine, they rented an Airbnb, which I would have stayed at had I had my shit together and got in on the booking earlier. It was a literal crack house. It was next to a building that was like completely fenced off. Everything around it was abandoned. It had 3 bedrooms, 2 of which had no windows. Like, it was like the building next door had a security guard to ensure that it wasn't further vandalised. Like, this is the way... this is my understanding of the way men live, and that whole party just had that sort of bleak, airless quality that I associate with a group of men trying with no experience to create a nice atmosphere.
And also so ready to crack. Like, so fast, just like it's all out there.
Well, that was the thing, was like that I think that we saw their real selves, and it made me feel bad for the amount of time I spent thinking they're such assholes, because it's basically they're just so repressed and strange, but you give them a moment to kind of reflect and they are just bawling their eyes out. Men are strange creatures.
Yeah. As Tavita said, I didn't expect to open up that hectically.
I know that's it.
I love Tavita.
I think they should start every episode with a gratitude circle.
I think you should start every day with a gratitude circle. I am all about it. I love to do snaps after a bottle of wine with my friends and say what we're grateful for and what we like about each other.
Aww. That's nice.
It's just a good thing to do.
We
should do it on the pod. Everyone should do it.
We should do it. We should definitely do it in the corner. Okay. Lily takes Quinn on a one-on-one date. It's basically love. They go dirt biking. They're two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
They bond over farm life. She invites him to touch her hardened blood clot. And she gives him a rose and they have a pash. And it's just wonderful and it's everything that this show should be.
Yeah. Quiz, oh my God. Quinn had another smooth line to get the kiss. And he had that smooth line with Lesina where she's like, where do you imagine a girl fitting into your life? And he was like, right here. And I was like, oh, love it.
Pocket.
And then this time they're talking about the hardened blood clot, which is not the sexiest, intro to an old pasharoonie. But he was like, can you still kiss with that?
Yeah,
and then leaned in.
It was good.
He's a smooth criminal. And I love it.
He's a smooth criminal. And I think it's very telling that we are the owners of Quinn's steel rose that was given to Lesina. To me, there's only one of two reasons that we've ended up with that. One is that he goes out early and means nothing to either of them. Well, that's not happened. The other reason is that he ends up with Lily. Because why would Lesina want to hold on to such even if he didn't go far with Lily and he just didn't end up with Lesina either, you'd still hold on to that because what a great souvenir. But it wouldn't seem right to hold on to it if he ended up with Lily, would it?
True.
The rose that was bestowed on the other Bachelorette. So
True.
Watch this space.
There's only one place you'd want it to go.
To the Real Pod Museum.
Exactly.
I think that these two are a great match, and I'd be very surprised if he's not her chosen one at the end of this because they're the only two out of everyone who I feel like have proper chemistry connection beyond a bit of a pash.
Agree.
Okay, group date. Build a dream date in the back of your car. Kurt just absolutely flubbed this, didn't get back in time. I was just thinking about him sitting there alone with all his ingredients for a great day, little helium L balloon in the back of the Swift.
He definitely bought a basket of shells, and who knows what he was planning to do with those.
We'll never know.
He's probably going to spell Kurt, on the grass. We just can't be sure.
Anyway,
it's like a little kid. Like Vivian, when she first learned to write her name, she just wrote it everywhere. But she was 4 at the time.
George, Flynn, Terence and Connor were the other suitors who took part in this challenge.
Rogues Gallery, this one.
This was I actually thought this was quite an interesting display of people's personalities. So Terence did the Mexico theme because he was basically tuned into Lily on that one. Was like, I know you like Mexico. I want to go there. Here's some Mexican things. Flynn was like dinner and a show because I can't skateboard and I'd love you to teach me. So that'd be nice.
What a very frightening looking skateboard, by the way. I don't think you want to learn to skate on that tiny little toy board.
George had a surprise. Well,
Laurie,
just drop the phone. That's right. George had a surprise box, which was great strategy.
Yeah,
really clever.
To know what was in there. And Connor, donuts, drinks.
So many drinks.
For some reason, no mention of the many drinks. And no mention of the weird Alice in Wonderland costume that he had there as well.
The maid's costume.
What was going on there? What was that? What was his plan?
Do you reckon
I think if anyone invites you on a date with 6 40 ounces in an Alice in Wonderland costume, the answer is no.
Okay.
Definitely not.
If you got pulled over by the police just randomly and they said, can we look in your boots, sir? And they found that, do you reckon you're on the hook for heaps of unsolved crimes just by default?
You definitely added to some sort of database.
Yeah.
They are absolutely swabbing the inside of your cheek, no doubt. Okay. Despite that, Lesina chooses Connor to be her one-on-one date time, and Lily chooses George. Beer pong. That's what it was. It was beer pong, wasn't it? They played beer pong. Oh my god.
Great game.
Once he got some beersies into him, old Connor let loose. Belching.
The belch was brutal, and her face was like, oh god.
It was so funny. Oh, Connor.
And then she's like, oh, I think Connor's more here for Lily. It's like, Connor's not a good match for Lily either. She just really does not want him to be on
That's wish fulfillment, eh?
Yeah,
that's just pure projection. It's like, fuck. Sorry, Lily. Take one for the lady team.
I am thrilled that Connor is still on this show. Lily chose George. They played swing ball. It was a terrible swing ball. It wasn't even anchored into the ground. So they couldn't get a decent volley going. But he still got a rose because, nice guy. Then there's a cocktail party. Kicked off with a song.
Oh, yeah.
Who was playing the guitar? Logan?
Logan. Finally, Logan got to go and get the guitar.
Those are that was a nice guy gang.
Yeah, and Mr. Wedge and what's his name? Kurt.
Steve was sitting there in the sidelines, but I don't think he was singing. I think he was just present. What else happened? Oh, Logan pulled Lesina for a chat. He was married, it turns out, and she's like, whoa, really? As if it's like a terrible sin. And then they start talking about love languages, at which point myself and the people I was with who were watching, oh, by the way, Kurt using myself a lot instead of me. Anyway, which I just did.
Love it.
Me and the people who were watching have a theory that those two are both from churchy backgrounds because love languages is not something people talk about unless they've been from a churchy background.
Not me.
Except for Alex.
I talk about love languages
obviously.
constantly. I've never been to church. Alice? Love languages?
I know about them, but I don't talk about
Alex,
them.
I feel like it surprises me that you were never in church at some point.
What? What makes you say that? My mum was raised Catholic.
You do have a
You've got the
goody,
vibe
a
of someone
do-gooder
who's gone to
vibe.
church.
Like you'd help your
Yeah.
neighbour with something.
I don't know my neighbours.
Yeah.
I have a dark streak.
Wow.
Yeah, of course. Everyone knows about your dark streak.
I have a dark streak. I don't know my neighbours.
I do agree, though. I do
Anyway.
agree these two. I don't think it's because they know about love languages, though.
But I also think a genius move on Logan's part to create a love lair off somewhere to where he could take her. Like, that's clever. How come no one ever does that? That's genius.
Yeah. He
Planning.
put a lot of different candle holders
Producers
down.
have done it. The producers
And he
did
made
it. Didn't do
toasties.
He did
That's
it.
the thing that got me. I was like, delicious. If someone brings out a cheese toastie when you're not expecting it, marry me.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
it. Alex's love language is food.
Toasties.
It's not one of
Toasties,
the
specifically
traditional ones.
cheese toasties.
But now you know. Glenn wants to get to know both girls. He rubs up Lesina's fingers. She's like, what's with the hand thing's weird.
She just calls him on it. Calls him on being Glenn.
Yeah.
And Glenn's like, can't even speak. Like,
Yeah.
she kind of aggressively at her. I enjoyed it.
It was.
I almost felt sorry
That
for
was
him.
that was, but it was also polite. Like, she wasn't rude about it.
Yeah. She's
Lesina
clever.
chats with Marc about the deal, brings Tavita in. What?
No, nothing. I was going to talk, but we moved on. I was just.
Anyway, he admits he's told a porky and he apologizes. Tavita thinks Lesina's a unicorn. Like, he just spiraled. He was like, you're a unicorn, you're not even real. And I would go to war with Marc, and then they sups in front of It was so amazing. Like, what a magic 10 seconds of television.
It was incredible.
It's like he couldn't stop talking and he just kept going and went to the extremes. It was just so
And the
good.
fact that Marc
And
was
she
so
laughed.
moved by that, was so moved by
Yeah.
him saying,
Oh,
I go to
bro.
war for you, bro. It's like,
Those
It
guys,
wasn't for him.
they're the new.
It was with him.
They're the new Gareth
Oh, with
and who are those maths mates?
Wayne and
Gareth.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon
they are going
Tavita
to
and
move
Marc.
into an apartment on the viaduct and live at Holy
Someone
Moly
is
for sure.
someone is from Cromwell. Who's from Cromwell in this?
What?
I'm sure that someone's from Cromwell.
Cromwell as a reality TV capital, I love. I almost went to Cromwell this summer.
Wow.
I was close
Almost.
by. I know. It's a pretty cool story, eh?
Now, I really have to go. So we're nearly there.
Okay.
The rose ceremony. Connor's hoping to stick around because he wants to ask Lily the big NTV question. But there is no rose ceremony because Art comes along and announces Argentina, at which point every man and his mate loses their absolute shit. Very excited.
I feel like you could overlay so many songs over that scene and it would be crazy funny with everyone. It's just the pure unadulterated happiness that
Yeah.
the boys.
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 And Art got real into it as well. Like,
Art's face was just like delighted. And then when he threw all the roses, he's like, get out of here, get out of here.
Oh, that was so cute.
It was
What a
pure.
magic art
It was
moment that
pure
was.
shit.
And then the big
I'm surprised that they had the budgetary allowance to like have roses that they didn't use.
No, they're just showing off. It's their way of like cucking TV3 for running out of roses right at the end. 2 years in a row, 3 years in a
Maybe
row.
Art got a bit of a warning about that. They were going to go back in the freezer, those ones. Anyway, Marc is thrilled. He gets to go away with a group of guys he loves and a woman he kind of likes as well.
Amazing
I
thing
think
to
that
say.
sums up everything.
That is the show.
Yeah.
Like, it is a love story starring like 17 lusty men and a couple of women watching. It's like an inverse of Gareth's famous dictum.
Next morning, they're all loading into the shuttle, but the Bachelorettes are there to deliver some news. They're obviously, they reveal that Daryl's a mole, and that someone's about to get kicked off, I guess, due to intel that Daryl has. Now, we know who it is because then they do a promo for Argentina and every single guy is spotted there but one. I won't ruin it in case, for whatever reason, you didn't pick up on it. I don't want to ruin your whole life by telling you who goes home. But did you guys, like, it seemed pretty obvious, right?
I didn't notice.
I didn't notice anything.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not going to say, I won't say it. Just go about your week. And then Sunday night we'll find out who goes home. And that's it, I think.
The end of the
I don't really have any real
pod.
news. Do you have any real news?
No.
Nah.
I'm all
No,
about.
I'm
This is
gonna
this is the
my
only thing in my
world.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for maths starts this weekend, hey?
Yeah,
Oh my
Maths
god. We can't do it.
I'm doing it.
We're
You're gonna do it.
Even if it's like just me, I'm fine with that. I enjoy it. I like it. It's home. It's a blanket.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it, but I think, you know.
We don't necessarily have to recap it, but we could do like 5 minutes on it.
Well, we couldn't possibly. If we were trying to recap that and Bachelorette, it's just a full-time job for everyone. Anyway.
It's been lovely.
That's our podcast. Thanks very much for listening.
Thanks, Unlimited Data.
Thank you, Alice.
Thank you. Thanks, Nando.
Thanks,
Alice.
Tavita.
Totally.
Sorry for
go
dogging
to war
you.
with you guys. And catch you next week.
Bye.
Talo for Lover. I'm Madeline Chapman, editor at The Spinoff. If you have the means, consider supporting our high-quality journalism by becoming a Spinoff member. Sign up now at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, senior writer at The Spinoff. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
The Spinoff Podcast Network.